All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's virtual info session on York International. My name is Ahmed, and I am one of the new student transition ambassadors here at SELD. Our goal is essentially to smoothen your transition into university life. So, this session is all about York International and how it supports global students and helps create a welcoming, engaging, and inclusive community here at York University. So, whether you're a new student coming to York or you're looking to deepen your connection, this is a great opportunity to learn more about the services, programs, and resources available to you. So, we're very fortunate to have a couple special guests joining us today. Yujit, who is the International Student Experience Coordinator, alongside Puri and Anil, student staff from York International, who will be leading today's presentation. So they all bring a deep knowledge and experience in supporting international students, and I am confident that you'll find today's session both informative and encouraging. So as we go along, please, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. We will try our best to answer them the best we can, and we'll also have a Q&A portion at the end to cover as much as possible. So with that, I'll hand it over to Rachel to start us off with the Menti.
I'm going to share my screen now and pass it on to Caitlin, who will be leading today's Menti.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Caitlin. I'm one of the new student transition assistants, and thank you all for joining us today. Before we begin, we have a quick survey for you. It's anonymous. You can join at menti.com using the code 1419866. Don't be afraid to answer. If you can't join, you can always leave your answers in the chat as well. We just want to get to know you. So I'll give you a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes to join. Again, the code is 1419566. I'll put it in the chat as well. Thank you, Clara. We have 2 people in so far. There's a little thumbs up you can click when you join to let us know that you're in. Okay, we have 4 people in. I'll give you a little bit to join. Okay, we have 7 people in. Last call to join before we begin. Okay, well, we'll get started now. So let us know, where are you joining us from? Toronto, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, Russia, Nigeria, Germany, Brazil, okay. Oh, Scarborough. Nice. Home, okay. Which of the following best describes you? Are you an incoming first year student, a transfer student, or a parent, family, or guardian? Okay, we have 4 incoming first year students, 5. We have 2 transfer students, 1 parent, family, or guardian. 7 first year students. Wow. What's one word to describe how you're feeling about starting university? Nervous, uncertain, scared. That's valid, but we're here to help alleviate that. Excited. Yes, you should be. There's so many new opportunities that you're going to find. Happy, anxious, homesick. I get that, especially as an international student. That's something I struggle with in my first year, but it's so great that we're partnered with York International here today to help guide you through this new transition. Great. Hyped. Good. Okay. Next question. So, what are you hoping to learn from today's session? About the university, your community, the international community, opportunities for you, tips on integrating. Yes, that's very important. And how to feel supported. Great. Well, our friends at York International will be covering a lot of these topics today to help you adjust to this new chapter in your life. Financial assistance, diversity. We also have a session coming up soon with financial services. So the person who was concerned about financial assistance, that session will be really helpful to you. So thank you all so much for sharing, and we're so glad that you're here. So sit tight, and this session will begin shortly as we pass it off to our friends at Yoga International. In the meantime, get comfy, grab a drink, and be active in the chat. If you have any questions, we're here to help you. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. I think it's my turn now. It's very nice to meet you all. My name is Anael Oliveros. I'm a student coordinator here at York International. And if you can tell from the title of that position, I'm a student. So I'm going into my 3rd year of the BBA program, so business here at York. So believe me, I totally understand what you're feeling right now. I was in your shoes not too long ago, exactly 2 years ago. Wow, time flies. But I'm just really glad to be here with you today. If you see me looking this way, it's because I have another screen. It's not because I'm not paying attention to you. As the lovely student staff said here, of course, your questions are very welcome. I'll be happy to answer anything. We're here to help, and if anything is unclear, please do let us know. You're gonna receive a lot of information, not only from this session, but overall in your first year, you're gonna receive lots of new information. So my recommendation would be take screenshots if you need to, take notes. But I've been informed that this presentation will be shared with you in a couple of weeks in YouTube as a YouTube video in the Student Life at York U channel. Yeah, so take notes, ask us please any questions, and I really hope this session is helpful to you and your journey here at York. So let's get started. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna start with our land acknowledgement. York University recognizes that many indigenous nations have long-standing relationships with the territories upon which York University campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. York University acknowledges its presence on the traditional territory of many indigenous nations. The area known as Tacoronto has been caretaken by the Nishnabik Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat. It is now home to many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis communities. We acknowledge the current treaty holders and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon, Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. Thank you. Amazing. We can continue. Awesome. Okay, so this is our agenda for today. Again, this is a session for York International, so you can expect an overview of this amazing Department of York and basically how are we going to support you throughout your journey at York. So I'm going to tell you about our programming overview. So that includes immigration advising, really important if you're an international student. Your university health insurance plan, and global learning, which will be quite relevant if you wish to work or study abroad at some point in your university journey. We're going to go through your international student experience. So what your first steps at York University would look like, how are we supporting you throughout these first steps, throughout your first days, weeks, and even your first year. How to get involved, of course, because university, it's not all about classes. It would be very boring if it was like that. Believe me, it's not. There's a lot to do. And how do we support your employability? Also very important. We want a career after graduation, so we have programs to support with that. I'm going to talk about very briefly about our events calendar, upcoming events and webinars you can attend and that are really helpful. And of course, a Q&A at the end, but as the event staff mentioned, your questions are always welcome. Okay, if we can continue. Thank you so much. Perfect. So in a few words, York International is here to assist all international students, but also domestic students who wish to study or work abroad. It's important to note that also international students can study or work abroad, and York International is here to help with your needs as an international student. We know it's difficult. We know it's very different from what you're used to. So that's why we're here to help. If we can go to the next slide, we can see the aspects of your university life that we can help you with. So first of all, international student advising. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to talk about your immigration status, these kind of things about, or if you're approaching graduation, study permits, co-ops, that part of international student advising, we have it. I'm going to talk about that later on. If you need to talk about your health insurance plan, very important. We have those services and you come to us because your UHIP, or we call it UHIP, University Health Insurance Plan, it's something that you will have it mandatory for all international students. So that's why it's under York International. Programming, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are not going to leave you alone. There is a lot of programs you can enjoy to make connections for employability. Really very, very diverse programming. We're going to talk about that later on. And again, go global. If you wish to work or study abroad, we also got you covered in that. I'm going to talk about that later on. But yeah, basically, York International is the home to a diverse and dynamic community of over 10,000 international students. So I'm going to go more in detail about the international student advisors and immigration specialists. We go to the next one. Perfect. Okay, so study permits. I believe you're very familiar with those. It is a long process, but I think at this point you already got everything in order in that aspect. But if you ever find yourself in a situation of you need an extension or it expired or something around that happens, we got you covered. Immigration support will be with you for that. If you want to work in Canada and you have questions like, am I eligible? How many hours am I able to work? Because as international students, we have limited hours per week that we can work in Canada. If you want to exceed those hours, you have to apply for a different permit. It's a whole process. So to understand that, we also have these advising sessions. If you need specialized immigration support, so if you have a really specific case, let's say escalated cases, we can also support with that. When graduation comes, you don't have to think about that now, but when graduation comes, it's again another whole process about your PGWP, we call it, so post-graduation work permit. You will also need other preparation. You will need to learn about the policies, what happens after you graduate, because the study permits have these limits that you have to stay in the country or out of the country. All of these things, international student advising will help you with that. Co-ops. So you might be familiar with those. Your program might have them. It's this opportunity for you to gain work experience while studying, but also comes with responsibilities from the immigration side. Because again, you have limited hours to work if you're an international student. So with this immigration support, we're gonna help you prepare. We're gonna help you know your eligibilities, if there are any policies, if you need a specific permit. We're gonna help you understand that. So yeah, basically every time you have a question about this, every time you're approaching one of these situations, you can come to us and we'll help you either in a virtual, in a drop-in, or with appointments. So if we can go to the next slide so I can explain that part. Awesome, perfect. As I mentioned, there's various ways to contact us. My first point of contact, I would say, is either virtual drop-ins or in-person drop-ins. Believe me that it's the best way to get in touch with us and with an immigration advisor. We have them weekly. If you can make it in person, I think in person it's Monday and Thursday or Monday and Friday, if I'm not making a mistake here. Virtual drop-ins are again weekly. All of these you can find in our York International Events calendar. That will tell you the times and dates and the location. Then if you go to these virtual drop-ins or these in-person drop-ins and the immigration advisor tells you, you know what, I would like to take a closer look at your case, send me an email. That will be the email you will be sending to. So that will be iadvisor@yorku.ca. Email would take a bit more time than a virtual drop-in or in-person drop-in. So I would strongly recommend you to go first to the in-person or virtual drop-ins. And the one-on-one appointments will happen after an email is sent. So if your immigration advisor has received an email from you and has read your case and asked you to come to the office for a one-on-one appointment, then that will be for a special circumstance. So that's the way to get in touch with an immigration advisor. And it's really important to note as well that unfortunately, if you come to us, to the office at the front desk, we as the students can't help you or can give you immigration advice because you can only get that from a licensed professional. We don't offer this immigration advice as a students or even as a full-time staff. We can't. So you can only get this advice from an immigration advisor, and this is the way to contact them and to get to them. Perfect. So another really important topic, and believe me, I've experienced it myself. I've used my UHIP. I'm sure if you're a very healthy person, I know it, but at some point in your university life, you're gonna need it, your university health insurance plan. So it's really important for you to know the basics of these plan that you have. So again, it's mandatory healthcare plan covering basic medical costs. So it's specifically tailored for international students. and it provides a similar coverage to OHIP, so the government healthcare plan. So if you if you ever find in a situation where you need to visit a clinic, you're feeling unwell, or you are just wondering about, okay, I am paying for this insurance plan. What does it cover? What are the benefits? You can always come to us. Again, we have virtual and in-person drop-ins, which you can find in our York International Events calendar. All of that, it's in, we have the dates and the location set there. You can learn more about the coverage details, how to get your UHIP card, because that's the way you use this plan with a digital card. How to file a claim if you already went to a clinic or if you already went to the doctor. Again, it's really important to know this. I really hope you don't need it, but I mean, it's important. It's these things that we have to have, and rest assured you're covered on that sense. We have an email, uhip@yorku.ca. But again, I strongly recommend you to visit our virtual or in-person drop-ins. And yeah, I think that's everything I have to cover about UHIP. So now global learning. We have over 300 global partnerships. So believe me, if you ever want to make a trip and work or study abroad, oh,
Yeah, I couldn't save if I didn't
I
have.
believe someone has their microphone open. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry, yes. Okay, so we have over 300 global partnerships. If you ever want to go on a trip to work or study abroad, believe me, there's a university perfect for you. These are the different programs you can enjoy. So if you want to do an academic exchange, which is 4 to 10 months abroad, or if you just want to do a summer abroad, which is shorter, 3 to 6 weeks abroad, all of your courses would be abroad and the credits will transfer to your queue. Believe me, I've heard beautiful experiences about both the academic exchange and the summer abroad. I think it's a really nice experience to grow not only academically but also personally. I think a trip is always very nice to experience and to have on a resume as well. We have global internships and research abroad. If you're looking to work abroad, we have a 3 months to 1 year abroad, or a faculty-led program, which is 4 to 6 week abroad. So again, if you find an opportunity that sounds really good for your professional development abroad, we can help you with that. The programs varied a lot, the universities as well. So I would strongly recommend you to visit the Global Learning website to learn more about the specific programs, the specific countries you can go to, the courses that we have available for your specific program. We have also virtual or in-person drop-ins for global learning. So if you're curious about these opportunities abroad, come see us at the office for these virtual drop-ins. We'll be very happy to help you. So the international student experience, my area. So let me introduce you to the full-time staff. We have Nedmi, who is our manager. We have Eugen, who is actually in this call. She's our orientation and transition portfolio coordinator. So you're gonna see her around when you do your orientation, your international and exchange student orientation in your first few weeks here in Canada. And Nikita, who you will see if you attend any of our student success events. She oversees this portfolio, and there's a lot of events within this portfolio as well that you can enjoy. And of course, me, hello again. I'm a student coordinator here at York International, also student. We have Patty, who you will hear from in a few minutes, but she's also student coordinator for the International Student Experience. Together, we work on these events and these initiatives for you to have fun, get involved, and connect with other international students and feel supported throughout your journey. And Maureen, who is with Welcome and Reception as well, and she's a student coordinator. Awesome. So again, I mentioned at the beginning that we're not going to leave you alone. There's still a lot of information to acquire, to gain, and we got you covered. So we have a couple of webinars coming up that I would like to present to you. The first one is preparing for the Canadian classroom, which is happening July 23rd. So if you are wondering or you're nervous about your classes, you're wondering how they work, how does the university life in the academic aspects work, how to work in teams, all of these questions totally valid. We're gonna cover them in this session. I strongly recommend you to come. I've been preparing this presentation and it's very useful information I wish I had when I was in first year. We will talk about as well how you will be evaluated, how to set your study schedule, how to calculate your GPA, basically getting to know the Canadian education system for you to feel prepared and confident when you walk in this Canadian classroom, which could be different from other cultures. Our next webinar would be arriving at the Canadian border. So again, a webinar I wish I had attended in my first year. Of course, this day when you get on your flight to Canada, it's gonna be very special, but it's gonna be also a very stressful day. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, there's a lot going on in that moment. So this webinar, we want to give you an overview of what to expect when you're in front of the officer at the border and you're receiving your study permit. We're going to give you all of these immigration tips for international students for you to get prepared. Be confident that you have all the important documents that you need to bring to the border and avoid any issues in that aspect and just enjoy that special moment. Our last one would be student life at York. So again, really important. It's not all about classes. It's also about making connections, making friends, enjoying the clubs, enjoying balancing academics and life as a student, right? So this is a webinar where you will get to know your resources to support your health and wellness. We're going to give you an overview of the services, the events that you can expect here at York. So if you're interested on that, I will totally recommend to attend. And now I'm gonna pass it off to Patty to talk about how your first steps at York University would look like and how York International is here to support you.
Hi everyone, I'm Pari, as Anil mentioned. Thank you for all the lovely information you just shared. And with me, we'll be diving into what your first steps at York University would look like. First up, we have the orientation. It's the most exciting event. It was the best parts of my York journey. I met some of my closest friends at orientation. You cannot miss this. It's the perfect chance to meet fellow incoming international students, start building your community, learn about all the essential resources and services York has to offer. It's fun, welcoming, and incredibly useful. The energy is amazing. Save the date for Monday, August 25th, and scan the QR code to sign up now. Now, here's what you can expect at orientation. It's going to be a full day of connection, learning, and fun. First up, we'll have a formal welcome from York International, sessions on immigration and UHIP, the important stuff. We're going to have a super useful service fair where you will meet the people who will help you succeed, and a Staying Healthy at York U session full of wellness tips and supports, and a guided campus tours. And yes, we're even going shopping for essentials at Walmart. York International also offers social insurance number SIN clinics. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is a very essential document for you coming into Canada, and usually you would have to stay in line at Service Canada for hours, but York International offers that services right here on campus where you can get your SIN number in just 10 minutes. You can scan this QR code to register now. Next up, we have the President's International Student Reception. Now, this is a special evening to welcome you all to the York U family. It is hosted by none other than the President of York University. We celebrate both new and continuing international scholarship recipients. It's a great chance to network, meet other students, faculty, and leaders. And we already have the date set, September 16th, and keep an eye on your inbox. The invites are coming soon. Now, talking about getting involved on campus, as Anayal mentioned, getting involved is so important beyond academics. We have something for everyone. Let's explore and try new things. It's the best way to feel at home and build and support your network. A few of the programs we do offer is the A Certificate program, the English Conversation Partners program, Neighborhood Exploration, Tax Clinic, and the Winter Activity Series. I'll be diving into all of these in a moment. First up, we have the English Conversation Partners program. If you want to feel more confident in your English language skills, this program is amazing. You'll meet one-on-one with partners and join events each week. It's a great way to form friendships with people from all over the world. You will improve your speaking skills without the pressure of a classroom. You can scan the QR code to visit the website, and the applications for fall 2025 are already open, so apply now. Next up, we have the Academic Communication and Excellence Certificate, what we like to call the ACE certificate. This is a fantastic opportunity to level up your academic and leadership skills. You can even earn a certificate from LABS, which is a faculty at York U, which will look great on your resume. You will also get on hands-on project experience, publishing opportunities, and workshops. You will build skills in communication, collaboration, leadership. And plus, you'll connect with peers, profs, and student leaders. It's all about growth and making your voice heard in the York community. Here are the certificate requirements. So it takes up to 2 years to finish these requirements. The first step is filling out the registration form, attending 4 workshops, complete the reflective feedback from each form, and complete 2 projects of your choice. So we just wanted to make you aware that it can take up to 2 years to finish this program. Next up, we have Neighborhood Exploration, which is all of the York International Student Staff's favorite event. If you want to explore Toronto and feel more confident navigating the city and the public transit, this is for you. These events are fun, active, and led by amazing student staff and volunteers. We'll explore a new neighborhood exploration each time, from hidden gems to big name spots. It's a chance to stay active, make friends, and create lots of memories. And yes, we'll even teach you how to use public transit like a pro, because it can be very confusing. Now, talking about the winter activity series. Just because it's cold doesn't mean that we stop having fun here. Last year, we had 37 students bundled up and came out, even during the university closure. We visited places like Distillery District, which is the holiday market here, the Nathan Phillips Square, and Yorkville. You'll experience the festive side of Toronto and connect with others. Now, speaking about employability, which is one of the most important aspects over here, we have 2 programs to cover that. We have the IEC volunteer program, and we also offer a Career Ready International Student Conference. Now, it's called the International Engagement Program. This program offers you the opportunity to lead inclusive community building, develop in-demand professional skills, and advance your career readiness. Now, let me tell you something about this program. I started off as a volunteer with York International in the very program last year, and now I have a job at York International. I think that should tell you enough about the various opportunities this program offers. I would definitely recommend attending this. It helps you build your professional experience. As I mentioned, I got a real job out of the volunteer program. You can develop your leadership skills, get hands-on experience, and enhance communication skills and foster a shared sense of success. Last year, if you see I'm in both the pictures of both the terms, we had 70 new students join the team, 600 plus hours worked, and created tons of memorable experiences and global connections. Next up, we have the Career Ready International Student Conference. Now, what is that? It is a full-day conference for international undergraduate students, which is a collaborative initiative. It is in partnership with various campus partners like the Career Center, the Division of Advancement, sorry. And it also offers an amazing networking opportunity with faculties, campus partners, and external companies and organizations. There's also a lot of people who will help you succeed present at the Career Ready. It truly makes you career ready. Now we're gonna open to any questions that you might have.
Okay. Thank you, Anael and Pari, for the amazing presentation. Hi, everyone. My name is Clara, and I'll be helping with the Q&A session today. So I know questions have slowly been coming in the chat. So if you have any more questions, this is the best time to ask. Feel free to unmute yourself or ask your questions in the chat. You could also private message me, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I have this one question. I often hear from new students, is emotional support is very important when coming to university. So what kind of services does York International offer for students who may feel homesick or overwhelmed in their first semester? Are there any events or programs that help international students build community?
Very important question. And if I can jump into that one, I would be very glad to do so because yes, I'm an international student myself. I know what you're feeling. You're afraid of homesickness, and I totally get it. It is hard, but our job at York International is try to make that easier. If we can go back to the programming, as you can see, we have shared pictures with all of our events. And this is because we want you to see that you're not alone. These are actual students, international students at York. So you can see our participation and the students just together. I think it's what makes this community special. Every program that you join with us will be a great opportunity for you to meet other people. As Patty mentioned, she was a volunteer herself, and I met her through the volunteer program. And I am glad to say that we're friends now. I am very happy to say that. So it really helps just getting involved, getting out there, joining these programs. If you go to neighborhood exploration, you'll get to not only get to know the city and the public transit system, but also students, also international students that are mostly in their first year and want to get to know the city just like you. If you join the volunteers program, believe me, you will get to know a lot of people that are in the same, with the same eagerness of helping and attending York International events. If you attend ECP, our English Conversation Partners Program, well, this is the whole goal of it, meeting other people, getting to know other cultures. I've been running the ECP program for a while now, for some months now, and I've seen pictures of them going to Costco together, going out to dinner with other people. And it has been a really amazing experience for a lot of students. So my recommendation to you would be get involved. There's tons of opportunities to do so. Here at York International, I already mentioned 3 programs, but we have more. Just jump in the York International events calendar. Don't be afraid to register if required, or just show up. And believe me, we support you. We're here to support you.
Thank you for answering that question. That was very reassuring. I did get a private message. Someone asked, my student permit is going to be sent to me at the end of August to October. What does this mean? I can't study?
I'll jump in. Hi, everyone. My name is Yujin Lee. I am one of the International Student Experience Coordinators. So legally, I am not allowed to answer any immigration questions specifically. However, what I can say to that question is that you do need a legal study permit in order for you to be able to enter the country. Well, not the study permit, but the letter that says that you are allowed to come into the country. And then you would get the study permit at the border, so at the airport here. So if you are not able to receive it on time, I'm going to ask either Body or Body if you can. We do have a webinar coming up next week on Wednesday that's called Deferring Admissions. So that means for some reason, in this case, for immigration reasons, you are not able to join us at the beginning of the semester. So then you will defer, sort of move your acceptance from starting in September to starting in January. And we want to make sure that you do it correctly. That means you're making sure that if you got a scholarship or if you got anything else with your entrance, with your acceptance, that you are moving everything to start in January. And also what that means immigration wise. So I would recommend, if you can, please join that. But if you do have follow-up questions regarding your study permit expiration, I would recommend attending one of the virtual drop-ins that are happening this week. I believe there's one tomorrow. If I can have either Body or Anael drop the link for the virtual that's happening this week. I would highly recommend attending that. That's where you would ask them, the immigration advisors, regarding what your specific situation is, whether you're already in Canada or outside of Canada, and then what that means. Okay.
Wow, thank you, Eugene, for answering that question. That was very helpful. Onto the chat. Someone has asked how to join community groups or academic groups. If you are talking about for new students, we do have a Y Connect group chat that we have on Y Connect. Can Caitlin just drop the link in the chat? So in this group chat, there's a bunch of new students coming to York University, and you can connect with them there. Okay, so I got another question in my chat. Someone has asked, finding housing in Toronto can be tough. So what support does York International offer for York? Sorry, so what support does York International offer for international students looking for off-campus housing or needing help with rental?
That is a great question. So we do have a webinar that happened back in March that's called Living in Canada. And that webinar really focused on the residences on campus and how the off-campus housing here at York University support students looking for different, that already on our pre-arrival program website. And it's also attached to it. It has the slides that we shared, as well as a really handy resource guide that has all of the like apps and places where you can look for places to live in. So I am going to put the link for the pre-arrival program website there, and you can find that recording. You can skip a little bit as you see, so you can move forward to get the information, but the slides are also there, and the resource guide is a great way to start your search with.
Perfect. Thanks for highlighting that, Eugene. Another question. What supports or resources does York International provide to help students understand work eligibility, part-time jobs, or post-graduation work opportunities?
Yes, so that would really fall, it depends a little bit in between. So if you are looking for specific like co-op opportunities, that would be within your program that you're in. So within your faculty, within the program that you're in, the program has built in the co-op opportunity inside it. If you are looking for just general internships or jobs off campus, the Career Center is a great place to where you can find information. You, as a York University student, have access to a like a hub of information where employers are looking for students within York University for internship opportunities and jobs, as well as there are different career fairs, career conferences that happen throughout the year for everyone, not just specific faculties. Even within the faculties, I do know there are opportunities where they bring alumni to do sort of talks and connection opportunities with current students. York International has the Career Ready Conference that's happening in November this year in the fall. And then in terms of whether you are eligible to work on or off campus and supporting you with getting those work permits and stuff like that, York International has the I think it's called the Study Permit Extension and PGWP, the Postgraduate Work Permit, sort of like a workroom. So you bring in your application and you're working through it, and you have an immigration advisor there working with you through it. So we have those that happen Mondays and Fridays in person. So there are tons of support. It's just making sure that you are seeking it on time and that you are looking for it within your faculty, but also within the bigger student service offices.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that question. On to the next question. Someone has asked, can you ask if they support students that already graduate from York University, or is it just undergrads or current students?
Most of our support is focused undergraduate. We do support graduate students as well. For example, we have a Navigating the Canadian Classroom for Graduate Students pre-arrival webinar happening next week as well. Other than that, we also have the Faculty of Graduate Students, which is a faculty specifically focused on supporting graduate students, whether that's financially, but also programs, services. So there are tons of support at the different levels, undergraduate and graduate. For alumni, there is an alumni office that I don't have a lot of information on, but we can Badi or Anel, if we can put the website for the alumni office. I do know that they have sort of like circle groups where they try to bring in alumni together to support current students. I also do know that the Career Center, that hub of information that I was mentioning, I do know that you have access to that as an alumni as well.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that question. Another question, someone has asked, would the ACE certificate add to my academic credits?
I can answer that question. No, the certificate would be a certificate issued by a faculty of York University. It's not counted as a course though. It's an extra from your course that you can use to boost your resume to build these skills and build a hands-on project that you can showcase in your cover letter, in your resume, even on a LinkedIn profile. That's what the A certificate is all about, boosting your skills outside of the classroom and outside of the course structure. So that's the A certificate program. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that question. Another question is, understanding health coverage can be very challenging as an international student. I'm an international student myself. So someone has asked, could you explain how UHIP works, what it covers, and where students can access healthcare services?
That is a great question. If I can have audio on, I'll put in the UHIP website specifically where it tells you what it covers. But basically, UHIP covers very general services. So you going to the doctor, seeking for getting checked up, you have a runny nose, your throat hurts, and you want to get checked that if you have bronchitis or something like that. So getting checked at the doctors, very general checkups. For specific checkups like x-rays, anything like that, dentist, even prescription medicine, that would be your extended health coverage given by your student union, which is the York Federation of Students, YFS. So you have basically two tiers of coverage of health insurance. One is UHIP and the other one is your extended. UHIP covers the very general health problems, we'll call it. And then the extended is more the specific. That includes dentist, vision, prescription medicine. That also includes, I believe, like chiropractic kind of coverage. It's not a lot, but that is part of it as well. So you, as an international student, you have two different coverages happening. Within the UHIP website, and if you go in there, you will find a link where you can find providers who accept UHIP. So that would be great. And then the other thing with that is make sure that you know how to get your UHIP card, which that will be sent to your York University email, I believe towards the beginning of the semester. So you shouldn't have it right now yet. It will be at the beginning of the semester. And if you do have questions about it, we have virtual drop-ins and virtual drop-ins for UHIP regarding that. And then there are different webinars to support your health journey as well.
Just
Perfect.
side note there, I'm sorry, just very, very quick side note. I would totally recommend getting familiar with UHIP because, again, as Eugene mentioned, there are providers, UHIP providers, not providers, and you're already paying for this insurance plan. So use it wisely, believe me. Go to the clinics that UHIP covers so that you don't have to pay anything and you don't have to worry about anything. So really get familiarize with that. Take the time to read through the website, understand what it covers, understand your card. And yeah, there's tons of opportunities to ask questions. So do so if you have any questions.
Perfect. Thanks for clarifying. And yes, ask questions. It's very important to know where to go when you're feeling unwell beforehand. So, yeah. And then we have another question. Someone has asked, how can you know about the ongoing jobs or careers on campus? And how do you register for them?
I think I can go from there. So I'm a work study student staff myself, so I can speak about that. You can go to the website if Party can help me putting it in the chat. But there's basically a list of all the jobs on campus that are available for summer, for fall, for winter. The dates really are varied across the faculties and across the departments that you're applying for. So it really depends. You have to stay up to date, like check them regularly, and depending on when you want to start working. I would recommend firstly check your eligibility to work. Very important. Check that on your study permit. Again, no legal advice here, but check your study permit. Read it, make sure you can work on and off campus. Then explore all the departments that are available at York. I chose to work here at York International, but of course there are more departments that you can support with. There are faculties, you can work at Tate if you enjoy sports. Really something that aligns with your interest and that you think can help boost your resume. I think most of them will ask for your resume and your cover letter. I had to go through an interview process. It was one interview. I truly recommend an on-campus job. That's a whole different topic, but anyways, I recommend it. It's a very good experience. If you want to like boost your skills and boost your resume as well and have some experiences, some professional experiences to talk about.
Just a couple things to add to that. Thank you, Anael. One thing is remember that you are starting soon. So like Anael said, you should check your study permit before you do anything, just to make sure and ensure that you are legally allowed to work on campus and how many hours per week. That is something you will need to check once you get here, because your study permit is what you receive once you cross the border here at the airport. The second thing is we have shared an on-campus employment. We'll share more. There will be links within this website where you will have to log in with your passport, York. If for some reason you can't see things yet, I would say do not worry. Again, your journey as a student hasn't started yet in terms of you arriving here and starting with orientation and all of that. So just make sure that you are looking at it the first few weeks once you get here. So there's that point. And then the other point is that if you feel like you need an on-campus job right away, but you don't have a resume, or you haven't built one, or you're not sure how much work experience you have, volunteering is a great way to start. It's a great way to build those skills, to get to know different offices within York University, but also to sort of get your foot in on how work life looks like, sort of like how Buddy did it. Yes. Yes. So the International Engagement Champions is a great way to start that. But there are tons of opportunities to volunteer here at York University, and then that could lead into a work study position or a summer position, because they know you, they know your skills. So that's another way to sort of get into the work experience as well.
Thank you, Yojan. And before we move on, I'd just like to address an important thing that was mentioned earlier about the health and well-being. I just shared a few resources in the chat about student counseling, health and well-being, and a resource called Good to Talk, and as well as stress management resources. So York, the YFS and the UHIP, both, they offer a bunch of resources, and some of them are free as well. For example, the Good to Talk. So if you're ever struggling and need help, you should be aware that you do have support here, and we're here to help you.
Thank you so much for adding that, Pari. I know we're running short on time right now, so I did get a lot of questions in my messages, so I will just share York International's contact us page. So if you have any questions, you can go there and ask. But thank you so much to the awesome York International team for answering all those questions. For the attendees, we encourage you to stay connected, attend upcoming events, and reach out when needed through YU Connect or our email, newstudent@yorku. And I will now pass it on to my colleague who has a short feedback form for you.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. And thank you again to the wonderful York International team for this presentation. I hope you all learned a lot. And then we're going to do a quick feedback to know how much you learned and what specifically you learned about. So we're going to go back to the Menti that we used before. The link is going to be posted in the chat. You can join at menti.com and use the code 14195866. Again, menti.com, use the vote code 14195866. I'll give us a couple of seconds and then we can start. Again, join us at menti.com and use the vote code 14195866. As well, if you're unable to join the Menti, feel free to leave your answers in the chat. That would also be welcome as well. All right, let's get started. So we'd love your feedback today. How satisfied are you with today's session? You can also put that in the chat, how satisfied you are. Were you fully satisfied? Do you feel neutral about it? Or were you feeling unsatisfied? And how can we help you navigate that as well? Can you see lots of folks feeling satisfied? That's wonderful. We're grateful that you're able to have a good time today. I'm going to move on to the next question now. Is there anything you still have questions about? Any topic regarding your transition to York University, any topic regarding being an international student, or any topic regarding being a domestic student, financial questions, whatever it is, let us know what you still have questions about. No questions? That's wonderful. But we'll still have upcoming info sessions throughout the entire rest of the summer. Our link to our event page is going to be posted in the chat. And you can always feel free to sign up and register for events. We have an All About York session tomorrow just to give you a student-led presentation on life at York, as well as a campus tour right after that. So if you have any questions regarding anything, that's a wonderful time to talk to students, talk to upper year students who can direct you to the right resources. All right. So what other topics would you like us to cover in future sessions? Was there anything that you wish was covered? Is there any session you're looking forward to? What other topics would you like us to cover in future sessions? Okay, wellness. We did have a session on health and wellness last week. The recording for that, the presentation for that will be posted on our YouTube channel soon. But if there are any other topics anyone else would like to cover, again, put it in the chat and feel free to visit our event page to sign up for more events. How to network? Okay, wonderful. I know the York International mentioned about careers and like the upcoming networking event that they have. There's so many events, so many job fairs, so many club fairs on campus. That'll be a wonderful way to network with people. All right, I'm gonna move on to our last question because of the time. Okay, we're done for today. Feel free to scan the QR code for our upcoming virtual sessions events, as well as in-person events as well. If you're here in the country or here in the city, this is a wonderful time to come around, come for our campus tours, see what the university looks like before your first classes, sign up for more info sessions to learn more from more campus partners as well. And wonderful. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna pass it on to Ahmed, who will lead the outro for this.
All right, so with that, the session has come to an end. Once again, we want to say thank you so much, Puri, and Anil for such an insightful and helpful presentation. And thank you to Eugen for being here and providing some much needed answers to everyone's questions. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. We really appreciate your time and thoughtful questions. So we hope this session has, given you a better understanding of how York International can support you and how you can get involved on campus and truly make the most of your experience at York. And if you think of any other questions later or you would like additional support, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us or York International. And we'll also be following up with some key resources and contact information shortly, including the recording for this session. So, with that being said, thanks again for being here, and we wish you all the very best as you begin your journey at York. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.